So the topic for today is the difference quotient. And the difference quotient is really the slope formula in disguise. But when we're not talking about a line, it's a little trickier to do. And that's what these next examples are representing here. So use the difference quotient formula, that's what this is up here, all right, for this particular function. So if we think of it as 3 steps, maybe 4. First, find f of a plus h. And this is the hardest step probably, so we're going to plug in a plus h everywhere there's an x in our given function. So 3 times a plus h quantity squared plus another a plus h, and then minus 1. From here we want to simplify, which means get rid of parentheses, combine like terms. That's where this gets a little complicated because you need to take a plus h twice. You can't square the a and square the h because you lose a middle term if you do that. So we're going to write it down twice. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and remove the parentheses off the next one here because that's really just a plus 1 in front of it. And if you distribute a positive 1, that's not going to change the inside of the parentheses. From here, this first term, you can do a couple of things. You can either FOIL and then multiply by 3, or you can distribute the 3 and then FOIL. It doesn't really matter which way you go. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 3 inside first. Notice when the parenthesis closes, that's when you stop distributing the 3. And then go ahead and FOIL this next part out. So we're going to get 3a squared plus 3ah, and then plus another 3ha, but you can alphabetize it and call it 3ah. And then 3h times h is 3h squared, plus the a, plus the h, minus the 1. Combine like terms, and that's just the ah's. You can add the 3 and the 3 together. And then, what else do we have? Plus 3h squared. So those were our only like terms. All right. That was step 1. After step 1, it gets a little easier. Step 2, all right, so that's step 1 right here. Find that. Step 2 is to find f of a. That's the easy step because that just means wherever there's an x in this function, I'm going to stick in a's. So 3a squared plus a minus 1. So that's f of a. All right. Step 3, we're going to kind of put everything together. So in step 3, I'm going to take my answer from 1 minus my answer from 2 and then divide by h. So we're going to be kind of specific about this. My answer from 1, I'm going to put in parentheses, 3a squared plus 6ah plus 3h squared plus a plus h minus 1. All right, and then minus our answer from number 2 here, 3a squared plus a minus 1, all divided by h. All right, so we're just plugging into the formula now, our pieces divided by h. And now simplify. So on the top, you're going to distribute this negative sign through the parenthesis. One thing you should notice is everything then in the second parenthesis will cancel out with something in the first. If it doesn't, you did something wrong. So we've got 3a squared plus 6ah plus 3h squared plus a plus h minus 1, and then minus 3a squared minus a plus 1, all divided by h. Right? So again, going from like right to left, the positive one's going to cancel with the negative one. The negative a cancels with the positive a. The negative 3a squared cancels with the positive 3a squared. Everything in that second parenthesis should cancel out. And what you're left with are going to be terms that have h's in them. So I have 6ah plus 3h squared plus h, all divided by h. Now you can reduce this, factor out an h, and then cancel with the h down below. So our difference quotient is equal to 6a plus 3h plus 1.